Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Avantika about Senior Year, which is dropping on Netflix May 13th. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is exciting because, there's always those steps, right? Like it's announced that you're joining the cast of Senior Year, the trailer, funny TikToks featuring Saweetie songs, and now it's finally coming out. How exciting is this?
So exciting. And you were so right. I think just like the whole process leading up to a movie's release is like so anxiety inducing because you're like, when is this coming out? When is that coming out? I remember like waiting for the deadline announcement of the cast and we're like, when is it coming out? When can we talk about this? And Rebel just posting like TikToks about us on set. Like there was just so much anticipation for us as the cast to watch this movie and have it out in the world that I'm so glad that it's finally happening.
And we need to laugh right now.
Yes.
We
Absolutely.
do. And this movie, I was telling you before we started, this movie is hilarious. There are some scenes. It's funny. We want people to go in fresh. I'm going to drop this interview closer to the release, but we don't want to go into big spoilers. But all I'm going to say is there was one scene that had me rewind. I rewound it 5 times because I laughed so hard.
Wait, okay, off the record, can you tell me what it is?
Well, no, I could just tell you. All I'm going to say is DiGiorno pizzas. That's all I'm going to say.
What? The what pizzas?
DiGiorno pizza.
Oh! Yeah, I love him. He's so funny, and that whole part was
amazing. And we'll see. People are going to be able to see. We're not going to say what it is, but there is a tribute or reimagination of a classic music video and a classic song. Yes. But it's big. This is the big times. I'm just saying that. What was that like? Kind of doing that, rehearsing that, and everything. That's insane when people are going to see it.
Oh my God. I literally told everyone, I was like, that was the highlight of the whole filming process. First of all, that song is iconic.
Yep.
I grew up watching that song. I love Britney. And to in some capacity be able to reenact it and be able to live that fantasy was insane. And to see Rebel as Britney was so much fun. I remember hanging around outside, me and Josh, who you just talked to, when she was getting her fittings done and stuff. And we were so pumped to see her in her full glory as Britney. And just rehearsing the song. I have dance background, but I do technical dance, ballet. And so to just let loose and have so much fun and do a dance circle, which I've never done before. That was insane. And I don't know, the whole process was so fun.
It's crazy. So, yeah. And we spoke to him too, and Jeremy Ray Taylor might or might not have crazy hair. Let's just say that.
His hair's nuts. His hair's nuts, period.
It's so crazy. I mean,
it's so crazy.
I'll tell you
crazy.
Great. I see what you did there. There will be memes involving that. I can't even imagine the basement scene. I can't even imagine, how did you do that scene without, laughing? There had to be many takes of that whole basement scene.
There's so many takes of that basement scene.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. And Gowrie Rice, who is on this movie, and she's plays a very big part. She used to get to see daily rushes, and so we would all sneak a little peek if she let us. But I remember watching the daily rushes from the basement scene, and truly wasn't you would go 10-15 minutes of watching rushes without getting a clean take in, because it was just always laughter and always somebody cracking themselves up or somebody messing up. And it's Josh is thrashing around on the table, and I'm and I'm flailing around. There were so many takes where it would just be great take, and then I would fall, and again and again. I think they ended up keeping that in, but
I can't wait for people to see it. I mean, is it starting to hit you? You're doing some press. Can you believe it's finally coming out on the 13th? It's pretty crazy.
It didn't hit until yesterday night. I literally went up to my mom and I was like, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. It's I can't sleep, and I'm always sleeping is one of my favorite hobbies. I I could not sleep yesterday because it's finally hitting after, like, I think when you start talking to people about the movie, like, officially, it starts to finally hit. And when you're like preparing what you want to wear to the premiere, like, everything just starts to really set in. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so excited.
When I do, when I do like the press junket days where it's like, the person's talk, like you're probably doing a few interviews here and there, but when I'm talking to someone I know, it's like room after room, they're talking to like 80 people. I never asked the has it hit you question because it obviously has.
As it obviously has. If it hasn't, I would be worried. Yes, for sure. Yeah.
This movie is laugh out loud funny and it has the slapstick moments, but there's a lot of important messages about being yourself and, a lot of important things about acceptance. And I think that's really important. And is that something you see early on, like reading the script and going in for, going in and rehearsing and everything, that it does have, like, it's very funny, but it has those very important messages as well?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I think that's, in my opinion, the biggest takeaway from senior year, that there is a space for everyone, even if you don't think there is. Even auditioning for this part, I really did not think I was going to book it. I mean, it's not the biggest part in the world, but it's an important part. And she's also like a cheerleader. So like when I read the breakdown, I was like, I don't really give cheerleader vibes. I don't know if I'm going to book it. But I think just the fact that they took me based off of my personality and just like how I delivered my lines, like as it should be, I think was just proof that, I didn't necessarily see myself as a cheerleader, but there was clearly a space for me there. So I think every part of this journey and every part of the movie has just been really reiterating the fact that, however unique you are, however different you are, more specifically, you can always make a seat for yourself at the table.
No, absolutely. It's interesting because I talked to Josh about this too. He was aware that cheerleading was involved with the film and everything. He didn't know, like, there's a decent amount of dancing in this film. And I don't think a lot of you were like prepared for the amount of dancing that was actually in this film, right?
Honestly, Josh talks to me about this too, that he was like not prepared for this amount of dancing. When you read the script, there's a lot of dance sequences. Okay. I originally was like, oh, wow, this is like a dancing, like it's a full-on dancing movie. Except that nobody talked about it until like 2 weeks into the filming process. They're like, oh, we're going to start rehearsal. So like for those 2 weeks, I was like, maybe I'm just overreacting. Maybe they're just going to have us like freestyle, like 10 seconds of dancing. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. It definitely wasn't. I can tell you that. But yeah, I'm so glad that it was like an intense dance. There were intense dance sequences. It was so much fun.
And you all do such a good job at it. He said in the interviews, like, it was not good at all the first day. I don't dance much, but he, like, kills it. So it's like...
so good. Are you kidding? In rehearsals, everybody's like, you don't dance. What are you talking about? Yeah, he was so good. He was so good.
Before we wrap up quickly, takeaway-wise, we've already established acceptance. Anything else? I mean, it's just a good time. Like, senior year is a good time.
Yeah, it's a great time. And I hope that everybody really just sees themselves in at least one character, because and I said this to somebody else too, but like every character in this movie has a happy ending, and if you see yourself in at least one character, just know that there's a happy ending waiting for you too. And I think the movie ends on a great tone for everyone, and hopefully that's how audiences leave the movie too.
Absolutely. And it's coming out on the 13th on
Yes,
Netflix.
It is.
Thank you so much for your time. It was so great chatting with you.
Thank you so much. It was so great chatting with you, Peter.
And if people want to catch up, like keep up date with everything, Instagram, like you're on Instagram, right?
Yep. Yes, I am.
Is it just your name?
Yes, I am Avantika. And I'm on Facebook too, even though I don't know if anybody uses Facebook, but I am on there as well.
That's a good handle because you are indeed Avantika.
Right? I am indeed Avantika. Surprise, surprise.
This has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Senior year, streaming on Netflix May 13th. Until next time, it's Avantika and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.